All right, here we go, my beautiful patriots across this incredible country, the fruited plain, as it were, as a guy I used to listen to growing up, making me the nightmare rush baby that I am, used to say. You guys are going to love every second of this one. We got something really crazy and tragic going on in Los Angeles with the U-Haul going straight through a bunch of protesters, probably something to do with the anti-Iran protest, because that's what's happening there while the Iranians kill protesters and liberals are, mum's the word. Then we've got some other things about the left and the Dems here in this country, kind of like changing their verbiage, throwing in the towel, and then all of a sudden, like a light switch in the dark, it just flipped. And now all of a sudden, they're talking about something else. It is the weirdest thing. I guess the mileage got run out on the whole using a woman's death for political advantage. I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. Yeah, and by the way, for the record, it's Sunday. We told you it was going to probably start to happen around Monday. Just saying, these people are predictable. Everything's going to be linked in the description box below, people. This is going to be an episode you cannot wait, and you need to share. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on, because honest to God, fighting for our country has a whole lot to do with dispelling the propaganda and the BS that they feed us through a funnel. I mean, it is insane. But luckily, everything is sourced in the description box below for your review. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on, chats, comments, emojis. Make the world go round. The more you engage and share, the more this goes out, and we beat them at their own game. You know, distribution. All right, listen, people, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We've got appetizers galore. You are going to love every second of it. Make sure the audio and video is good. It looks like it is. Let's get going. And I did want to say this. This is a new thing. I'm deputizing all of you guys because lefties have been inundating our chat recently. I know that you guys will make me proud while I continue to deliver excellence with small little bits of humanity mess-ups every once in a while, but I trust you guys. You've been deputized. Go forth and be on guard in the chat. All right, I got to put the thing out. Hold on one second. Comments, chats. I got to put a comment in there. Chats, emojis. Make the world go round. All right, you know the rules, guys. Once it's in, once we post it, once we pin it, it is off to the races. Okay, let's get it, guys. We got to talk about some stuff. We are going to start with the appetizer because the early attendees get the best stuff. Guys, we have a new reason. Freak out. Oh, my God. I'm pretty sure that this one might take the cake. It's a little cake, but it might take the cake because there's a new reason for why this whole thing happened in Minneapolis and the tragedy that occurred. And all of these things occurred for a reason that we didn't see coming. I'll be honest with you. It blindsided me. But this woman is here to cry into the camera and tell us the real reason why. Again, if this is not an appetizer to get you going, wet your whistle for this freedom train, I don't know what is. Let's get it. Here is the real reason. Let me back this up. There's going to be tears. There's going to be emotions. We're going to feel it. I need to hear you in the chats and the comments on this one. Let's get the audio and go.
He shot her because she was queer. He shot her because she was queer. You can see so clearly. I didn't think that it was like that before, but when you see the footage, he shot her because she was queer. And you voted for this! You shot her.
Okay. I might be a little insensitive in the next thing I'm about to say. We're going to go big screen for this one. You know, a little something for the lefties. I don't remember that woman going, I'm sitting in a car blocking ICE for 4 minutes and clearly part of an organized resistance. By the way, I'm gay. I don't remember that occurring. I know I saw like 9 different footage angles of it. I don't recall any of that. But for some reason, that's what happened. It's no longer she was victimized by ICE. It's no longer she was shot just walking down the street. Now she was gay and it was obvious. Y'all, wow. And honest to God, guys, you'd think that's the only appetizer I got for you guys, but it's not. It's not. I got another one. This one ties into a bunch of things. This one's really important. And guys, I want to hear you in the comments and the chats on this one because this one's like, this one gives me life. And the reason that this one gives me life is because the left cannot stand on its own. You want to know why it can't stand on its own? And we keep on tearing it asunder and beating it like a rug? I mean, God, there's a Southern reference for you. The reason why is they can't stand together. They can't do anything because there's always a superseding, more important calculus of victimhood status. I mean, honest to God, watch this. I didn't make this, okay? This is in regards to the protests that are popping off because of the events that we saw. This is what they're taking away from it on the far left. So don't you dare do this, because if you do, you are a bad lefty. You better follow the rules of leftyhood. And if you cross one of these lines, you are not well. Watch this. just watch.
We should always speak the names of victims regardless of who they are. Say Her Name is a movement started by Black women for Black women specifically, and it's not appropriate to use in regards to Renee Good.
Hi, good morning. What happened to Renee Nicole Good is so important, and we absolutely need to be talking about that. She deserves a hashtag and everything. It should not be Say Her Name. Say Her Name is reserved for Black women. Thank you.
Say Her Name is for Black women. It's for Black women. And maybe if you had fought harder for those Black women, we wouldn't be where we are today. But we did not fight harder for those Black women. So we will not be using Say Her Name in this situation because it's kind of our fault. How's that? It's our fault.
Say Her.
Okay, I'm just going to pause it real quick. PSA for all the young men and aspiring mid-aged men out there. If you see that, run. Run fast. Because, whoa. They're not allowed to say her name because it's reserved explicitly for African American women, women of African American descent. Only those people are allowed to say that specific phrase in the protesting when we are using the death of a woman, because the mileage is what we get. The political mileage is what we get. But damn it, if you do the wrong thing and you say the wrong protest and you say the wrong emotion-evoking phrase, damn you to hell, it's your fault. You can't use that phrase. Use another phrase. Get your own phrase. That's our phrase. Guy? Okay. Maybe I'm crazy. Let's just keep going.
Name chance was created by Black people for a Black woman by the name of Sandra Bland. Okay? That's the only reason anybody should be saying Say Her Name if it pertains to a Black woman that has been murdered. Okay? This is not for any other race. Simple as that.
PSA, Say Her Name is for Black people. It is for people who do not get nationally recognized when crimes, injustices, or unaliving occur.
Hey, so I'm not trying to be rude at all, but Say Her Name is specifically reserved for Black women. That chant started as a direct result, and I remember because I was an organizer at the time. It started in the early days of the Black Lives Matter protests. I mean, like Trayvon Martin early days, when Black women who were also being victimized to police brutality, like Sandra Bland, like Rekia Boyd, oh my God, the list is endless. They were not getting the same coverage as Black men and boys who were also being victimized. That's not to say that they are not important. It's to say that the Black girls and the Black women were completely ignored. Hence, Say Her Name.
So that's it, guys. PSA, if you're on the left, if you're one of those lefties out there protesting, burning things down, wanting to tear cars asunder, kicking ICE, which is following federal law that the United States Congress passed bicamerally, and also in a bipartisan fashion, as the lefties like to say. Yeah, you can't say that wrong phrase, because if you say the wrong phrase while you're doing the wrong thing, oh my God, you are now a baddie. All right, and not in the good way. And guys, that was just the appetizer. So we've learned a few things. We've learned, one, that she was shot because of her sexual orientation. That's a new one. And then we've also learned that you're not allowed to say a certain way, a certain thing, and if you do it wrong, you're going to get crap from your own side if you're on the left. Here's the thing. I told you, I believe it was last night. It was either last night or it was yesterday morning. I do so many videos that they kind of blend together sometimes on the timeline, particularly on high intensity points, which I would classify the last 4 days as. I said that because the new video footage was dropping, it was going to start going into a different realm. They were going to start splintering. Some were going to start changing their tunes. Some were going to start talking about other things. The news cycle probably wasn't going to last until Monday. Yeah, it's Sunday, and we're getting this kind of splintering. All right, watch. I got even more for you. Something else happened, guys. So as you're in here, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. Comments, chats, emojis make the world go round, and get around that pesky notification bell, which sits on its ass all day and doesn't do anything. So the more that you can help, the better. All right, now let's get into this. I swear, guys, a switch went off, a email went out, something happened. And I love showing you these things, and I wonder if it has anything to do with this. This right here, new generic ballot poll, Democrats 47, Republicans 46%. Okay, that's 1 point difference. And I wonder if this, because remember how I told you it's all about political mileage? I wonder if this stuff that I'm about to show you has anything to do with that. So this is today, about 4 hours ago, this is Representative Melanie Stansbury. This is a Democrat representative. She is 100% a talking mouthpiece, 100% propagandist for the Democrats in the House. She put together yesterday articles of impeachment for Kristi Noem. Today, after all the video footage has come out and clearly something happened with all the language was changing, but for real, where are the Epstein files? Whoa, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I thought we were talking about the ICE Gestapo. What happened? Well, it would be weird if it was just her, but look, there's more. These are all lefty accounts I'm about to show you. This was this morning. Reminder, the Trump administration was required by law to release all the Epstein files by December 19th and still has not released 99% of the files. That's weird on the same day. Jamie Bonkowitz, this is a far-left, militant leftist. The Epstein files are 23 days past due. Wait a minute, I'm catching a trend. Congresswoman Mary Gay Scanlon, also a prominent Democrat in the House. With everything that's happened this week, you know what didn't happen? The release of the Epstein files. What in the world is going on? I wonder why they're switching that so hard. Because I could have sworn that, that was the bee's knees. Everything was talking about that. But then all of a sudden, they all switch over to something that's 9 months old. Wow, the mileage by using a woman's death for political gain and advantage must be running out. I said it. They're disgusting. Because they totally are politically manipulating and lying about this whole thing. I got more coming in a second. But now, I want to show you something else. And let me know what you think of that amazing coincidence in the comments in the chats. Because I genuinely find the timing and the execution of these things that happen at the exact same time. Just like AOC and all the New York Democrats did an anti-Hamas post, almost literally algorithmically timed. It's weird how they switched over to the Epstein files all of a sudden, isn't it? All right, let's keep on going though. Now, I'm going to touch on a few things here because this is important from a video that we did about 2 hours ago. And you guys are loving that video where we caught the same protester in multiple different cities, multiple different states, multiple different ways. Check that video out. It's the last one I did. But I want to just reiterate this. I didn't say this in that video, but these digital LED mobile billboard trucks typically run around $1,800 to $4,000 per day for a short rental. So you not only have to have the money to do it, you have to have the organization to do it, you have to have the creative elements to do it, and you have the private person to drive it. It's literally a small little business enterprise. You really think that all of these things are just magically happening by happenstance? And I'm going to show you who's behind it in a second. There's pamphlets that were showing off, and a big little giveaway dead hint is there's a hammer and there's a sickle and there's no farmers around. That's your big takeaway. Okay, so I find that very weird. Then we're going to keep on going to this, and this is just kind of a high-level recap, but I want to show you something. This is the guy, if you didn't see that video, go watch. This is the kind of rhetoric that he's blasting across the line at ICE agents. Again, if you didn't see it, go watch the whole video. I'm going to play a snippet of it. This is the level of vitriol that you're seeing. And this guy might look familiar. Hold on a second.
People need to fucking show up with guns to face you guys. It's fucking time for an armed resistance against the United States of America.
Take your mask off.
This is done. We're done. You're fucking murderers. You shot a woman in a wheelchair.
Yeah, you get the idea, right? And if you want to watch the whole thing, I've got a bunch of that and some other things in the video I did prior, as I mentioned. But I find this interesting too. Hey, look. Same guy, mugshot on the left, being dragged out physically by cops on the right, which looks like a task, to be fair. We've got no forced binary choices. You've got some kind of trans stuff right there, same guy. Then you got the army to 8647, which means get rid of Donald Trump, 8647. At more protests, you can see the live and let live shirts. Here's what I believe on the back right of that bottom right one. You guys seeing this? I mean, my God, it is really wild. The more you look at this, it's like he's getting dragged out of, that looks like a legislature. There's some sedition stuff, of course. But you guys get the idea. These people literally live for this. This is their job. I showed you this earlier. I'm not going to show this one again. Again, you can watch that video I did prior. But it's clearly orchestrated. And I'm going to burn through this real quick to get to this point. And then I'll catch up on the super chat because I just saw one. Where's the ERPO on that guy? I bet you he's got an ERPO. If you're not familiar, extreme risk protection orders are red flag laws, which is the left's little wet dream for gun control. That's what he's talking about there. All right, let me get over this. This is what I've kind of been burning towards with all of those things. And again, if you want to see those videos in its entirety, I just did a video 2 hours. You can check it out. It's a really good video. It's getting good reviews on from your guys' comments. All right, now this is so fascinating, guys. It's so fascinating how these things just come to fruition. It's really weird. Revolutionary Communist of America handed out these pamphlets on how to organize a class struggle resistance against the capitalist ICE. They described recruiting union members to organize a militant defense to drive ICE out, deliver justice to Renee, that's the woman who, according to the lady up here, was killed because she was a lesbian, and criticize Walls and Frey for not coming down hard enough on ICE. So they're going to organize a militant defense against ICE and the police in Minneapolis from the communists, the Revolutionary Communist of America, by unifying the proletariat against the capitalist ICE. Okay? You are actively looking at revolutionaries that are organizing and capitalizing off of flashpoints in order to make destruction and chaos the norm so they can get more power. That is what you are looking at. It is not even in question. And the reason I show you this stuff is because people like this and people like, is it this one? Organizations like this, people like this, people like this, and people like this are all affiliated to the exact same underlying and underpinnings, okay? This woman right here, and I hit it in my longer video I did a minute ago, she's connected to an organization that's funded through Act Blue. The entire thing is a Democrat funding machine. I mean, like, my God, guys, like, how many more pieces of evidence do you need? Sorry, that's something next. Literally, look, I'm going to click on this. Revolutionary Communist of America. No trust in Democrats or the courts, and they're going after the Democrats. Okay, so you have no belief in the courts, Democrats, ICE, capitalists, all that. You're just going to try to be a revolutionary and burn that thing down. Look, listen to the bullet points. An injury to one is an injury to all. Organized labor must step into the fight. Workers, self-defense committees in every workplace and neighborhood targeted by ICE. No faith in the Democrats. Down with both parties of the ruling class. Are you seeing this? This is literally just full-on communist revolutionary destruction. That's what this is. And on top of that, all the protests are being funded by a socialist, funded and connected to the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party in China. Obviously, hence Chinese. Neville Singham's his name. It's tied to the No Kings rally. That's tied to the Democrats. The entire thing is tied to the Democrats and the far left socialists and communists. It's all right here. I've done multiple videos the last 7 months on it. Let's go back to this. Immediate amnesty and full rights for undocumented workers and their families. Automatically just citizenship, huh? Okay. Build a communist party that can defeat ICE and the capitalist system once and for all. You are looking at revolutionaries straight out of the socialist communist playbook. That is exactly what's being handed out here. And I see a couple super chats. I've been remiss. Hold on a second. Mike Yu with a $1.99 super chat says, Braden, thanks for the whole hard work you do. It is my pleasure. This is literally for our country. And honest to God, it's for this generation and the next one. But we have to spread this stuff out, guys. Like, this is very important stuff. The wolves are at the frickin' door. Revolutionary Communists of America. I mean, like, my God, doesn't get more hammer and sickle than that. Will Crump with a $5 super chat. Has this video of the fat guy telling folks to shoot ICE agents been forwarded to Kristi Noem? If not, why not? Will, I cannot tell you, I said this in a comment, I cannot tell you who has it, but I can tell you that the White House is aware. That's all I can tell you right now. Grunt, $2 super chat. Where's the ERPO? I already told you that one. I think there was one more up here. I don't want to miss any super chats. That would be rude. I don't think I missed any. Okay, cool. So guys, as you're getting in here, these emojis, the comments, everything circumvents the notification blackout. Honest to God. The more you send this stuff out, the more you engage, and the more you're part of this, you are actively a part of the machine. And don't forget, you are all deputized in case one of those pesky lefty wanders in and rabble rouses in the comments, because I'm over here doing this. You can do that. All right, so where was I saying? Oh, yes. Revolutionary Communists of America. Bad. Let's continue. For all the 2A people out there, my core bread and butter, my people, my fellow compatriots, it turns out that President Trump just did something that deserves a little bit of accolades. He just pulled from a UN treaty. This is a big deal if you're in the 2A space. Honestly, if you're a citizen of the United States, it's a big deal, and you like your rights and your Bill of Rights. But if you're in the specific 2A subspace, President Trump has ordered the United States to officially withdraw from the UN Register of Conventional Arms. That's the treaty. Works closely with the UN Arms Trade Treaty, which is a bad one, and requires participating countries to submit detailed import and export reports. These reports include small arms and civilian market firearms. Screw you. Glad we pulled out of it. The U.S. withdrawal from this program delivers a major blow to UN efforts to impose global gun control schemes on American gun owners. Yep. This would be the time where you drop a little love in the comments and the chats and your nearest YouTuber that's specifically in the 2A space. This would be one of those things that is good. So accolades where accolades are due, feedback where feedback is due. This would be in the accolade territory. Pulled it completely from the UN. Okay, let's keep on going. Again, credit where credit's due, feedback where feedback's due. That's one of the credit ones. All right, I think I saw another super chat come in. Yep. Mitchell Ryan, $4.99. Is this enough for Trump to enable the Insurrection Act? No one has told me anything about that. I do not know that. I have no comms on that. I don't want to venture a thought process on that because honestly, it would be taken as either advice or something out of my sweet spot. It seems like we're getting close to that, but I cannot tell you that 100%. So that's what I would say. These people are sick. That is correct. That is absolutely correct. All right, let's keep on trucking. So, I didn't mean to do that. All right, here we go. U-Haul truck just plowed into an anti-Khomeini Iranian protesters in Los Angeles with multiple injuries reported. I hope everyone recovers because this is pretty terrifying. So here's the backstory on this one, and then we're going to start cruising into the final points of this video because we got like 6-7 tabs left. This is not a anti-Iran protest, okay? This is a anti-Khomeini Khomeini, excuse me, I can never say that name right. Khomeini protest. That means the existing power structure in Iran. All the uprisings and all the murdering of innocent civilians who are protesting their tyrannical government. Yeah, all those people. This is a protest supporting the protesters, going against the existing regime in Iran. All of a sudden, someone decided to grab a U-Haul truck, paint pro-Iranian regime slogans on it, and then do this. All right, so you get the idea. This truck pulled up to a Iranian protest, which I would presume has all the permitting, has all that stuff, because the media is not freaking out. So, I mean, that usually if something's done legally and calmly, the media doesn't really care. But anyway, supporting those freedom fighters in Iran who are going against the tyrannical regime, which hates us and controls a large portion of the world's oil supply. Yeah, I can't see why that wouldn't be news. Anyway, let's keep on going. Here's another angle of it. Yeah, so that's happening in Los Angeles. Wonder if that's going to be a mainline news story since, it seems to be pretty important. Let's continue on. Will Crump with a super chat for $2. Ask an amazing question, which leads directly into what I'm about to show you. Good job, Will. Was the driver caught and arrested? Well, this is the driver being pulled out of the vehicle by the protesters. Yeah, that's weird. So super chat from Nick TD said, I thought driving into people with a vehicle was completely fine. A little sarcasm, a little snarky. I dig it. I support it. But yeah, so no, they dealing with that. He's either arrested or he got the crap kicked out of him. I'm betting because the police are there blocking the crowd from like ripping him apart. I bet you he just got arrested. Anyway, that is another piece. Oh yeah, here we go. So that's more updates will come on that. I'm sure I'll get more of that tomorrow. I'll find out some way, shape, or form something's insane on that one. And guys, we are cruising up on Tifler Mouse. What? That's cool. I've watched a lot of your stuff, man. I've watched a lot of your stuff with a lot of shotgun stuff. Thank you for showing up. 3,000 current viewers in here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. I am proud to do this with you guys, and it's one of the things that we can do together. So to get around that notification, make sure you send this out, spread it, likes, engagement, comments, chats, all of that stuff. That's how you get around this YouTube not notifying people, is when you just circumvent it. So the more you do it, the more you spread stuff and you defeat BS like you're about to see right here. Now, I told you earlier, and I've said this a few times in this live stream, Monday was probably going to be the day. The weekend news cycle was going to take over, and they were going to continue talking about how evil ICE was and how evil Donald Trump was. That was probably what was going to happen, and then it was going to start to shift. Well, this is MS Now openly admitting that this woman ran into this guy. Okay, talking about Renee Good, talking about the ICE agent. We're back to the Minneapolis thing, okay? I had to stop by Los Angeles to show you what's happening over there. More come on that. But this is happening on MS Now, which I find pigs flying. That's what I find. Okay, watch. They don't like it either. It's really funny watching them not like this.
This was a mother. This was a woman that even said, hey, I'm not mad at you.
Right. Literally seconds before she was shot.
But there is the reality is that there was a point where she was using her vehicle as a weapon, right?
Was she?
That is what the video I
That is an accusation.
That's an
accusation.
But
that is not
I
videos
saw where her wife was saying, come on, baby, let's go. Drive, baby, drive. There is a video where she's charging using her car. Now, we can debate that. If we have the clip, great.
Oh, they don't like it.
I'm not going to say that this was right. That is just one thing that I don't think this administration should do either. This went too far. This was a mother.
All right. I'm gonna do this in slow mo. Excuse me. I'm gonna do this in just quiet, like no audio. I want you to watch the body language of these guys on MS Now, because they know their audience and they know the leftist propaganda they've been pushing. The guy in the middle in the gray, I don't even know what that's called, suit jacket, pea coat, whatever. I'm not a fashion person. And then the gray suit on the right. Okay, you got purple tie and you got white tie. Watch the body language when they drop this. When she openly says, we kind of all know she kind of hit the guy with ice. Does that make any sense now that you're looking at this right here? All of these different Democrats and these apparatchiks all going out and going, yeah, about the Epstein files. Can't talk about that anymore. You think it's just a coincidence, guys? It's not a coincidence. That guy. But anyway, look, back to this. Watch their body language. I'm gonna walk you through it. So everything's fine. Everything's good. Oh my God, yes, absolutely. But let's face it, we kind of know she hit the ICE agent with the car. Wait for it. Boom. There's the bomb. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh. See, you can see them shifting. Ooh. Because they know they're on looking downward. They know what that means. They can't say truth. Look at them looking down. They're averting their eyes. Here's the craziest part about this. They can't even say it's a bad thing that this woman died, and it's also a bad thing of her actions that led to that action. You know why they can't do that? They can't do that because if they do, they disparage everyone else that's trying to do it too, i.e. their whole audience. Guys, I swear, I'm taking crazy pills. All right, let's keep on trucking. We got a little bit of J.B. Pritzker to deal with. Now, I'm going to give you a fair warning. This one's going to have a little bit of sarcasm. This one's going to have a little bit of 2A tie-in, a little bit of history, a little bit of things you may not know if you're not in the 2A space, and a whole lot of freaking hypocrisy from the left. Okay? I want you to pay attention to how he phrases this and how he changes his language. 2 days ago, it was 100% verifiable, unremitted murder. Now listen to it. Again, the tone changes and softens.
I'm not defending I'm not defending anyone or anything that's happened, but is it appropriate to call that a murder at a time that there are rising tensions between protesters and ICE agents if it has not actually been adjudicated and found to have been a murder?
Okay, let's call it an alleged murder. So I agree with you. Let's call it an alleged murder. Let me just say, though, that when you have video, as you do in Minneapolis, when you have eyewitness testimony from people, it seems like there's a whole lot of evidence, and it should be adjudicated. You're 100% right. There should, in fact, be due process.
Ding, ding, ding. You guys know, you already know, if you are part of my 2A contingent, if you're part of my gun rights people, if you're part of the people who've been in this fight for 5 years, you know where I'm about to go. But before I go there, I just want to hit something real quick. Absolutely verifiable murder. No way, means, shape, or possibility it was anything else. Jake Tapper goes, isn't it a little irresponsible because, everyone's got eyes and we got like 9 different camera angles? Fine. Alleged murder. Well, that kind of changes the whole thing, doesn't it? The dynamic all of a sudden goes from you absolutely murdered her, burn everything down, the system hates you, down with the capitalist ICE pigs to, oh, well, if it's alleged, well, then there's something else going on. Well, hot damn. Now all of a sudden it's alleged. It's amazing how that shifts after the emotional impetus leaves, isn't it? They got their mileage out of a woman's death. These people are disgusting. Openly disgusting. There must be political ramifications to continuing after everyone knows in the population what actually went down. Anyway, now let's get to this next part. Due process. Due process, the man says. Okay. This guy is the furthest thing from a supporter of due process on this frickin' planet. His state has premiered and has led the way on red flag laws against every single citizen in that state, along with lots of other blue states. And if you're not familiar with what red flags are, red flag laws are basically systems where someone can tattletale on you and the government of they think you're a danger to yourself or others, and they take your guns away without you hearing the charges, without you facing your accuser, without you facing your judge. You don't get a day in court. You get nothing. What you get is a warrant showing up in your door. They take your rights away, and you have 12 months to prove you're innocent after you've been assumed guilty. Yeah, please tell me more about how you love due process, Pritzker. Watch.
That's not something that the Trump administration believes in. And indeed, they are throwing people out of the country. They're arresting U.S. citizens and people who are here legally without any due process. And in many cases, they're claiming that they're domestic terrorists, claiming that they're doing something wrong when there's zero evidence on their side.
I want to play something that Michael Fanone, who was a police...
I don't care about Michael Fanone. I don't care, Jake. Due process. It's all about due process. Due process for illegal aliens, no due process for Americans. That's the way that this works for these people. Which is why I fight them every single day. If you're enjoying the content, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on, chats, comments, emojis, make the world go round. Said that real fast. Let's keep going. All right. Here we go. Jacob Frey. Super chat from KN, $5 says, it's now confirmed. Democrats are now 100% the party of criminals. Defund the police, bail reform, ignore federal immigration law, 100% criminal. Absolutely correct. You get a heart for that one. That is, God, my viewers are not only informed, they're sharp, and they can articulate it without screaming and saying stupid things. Good job, guys. Good job. Keep it up. Now, I must bring you news of Soy Boy. Don't worry. We're going to wrap up with this one. Yeah, this one. Ilhan Omar. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, anyway, here we go. Guys, I look at things on the internet consistently all day, and the last 4 or 5 days, I've just kind of like had to walk away a couple times just because I've been like, there's no way on God's green earth they actually just said that on live TV. This falls firmly under that category, okay? This is Wonder Bread, Wonder Boy, Jacob Frey, from Minneapolis. This is the new soy boy, the wannabe Beto O'Rourke. And that's pretty bad if you want to be Beto O'Rourke, coming out of Minneapolis. Now, he says some very interesting things here about the fraud going on. Again, this is another way that you know something's changing because now they're talking about other things other than this incident 48 hours straight. Okay, here you go. Watch this. Listen to what he says, and we're going to have some fun with it.
Let me ask you about the leadership in your state. Dozens of people in Minnesota have been charged and convicted with stealing millions of dollars of taxpayer money for government programs. Do you think Governor Walz did enough to stop the fraud in your state? And do you support his decision not to run for re-election?
Well, look, Governor Walz is the reason that we've got paid family leave in Minnesota. He's the reason we've got free school lunches. Him and I, we've been through thick and thin.
But did he do enough to combat fraud,
over these
Mayor?
last 5
Did he do
years.
enough to combat fraud?
Look, obviously, everybody could have done more to prevent fraud, and I think that's a fair point to make. You do more to prevent fraud, and you look what he's doing right now. He's setting up a whole bunch of infrastructure to do that. And by the way, look, the fraud's real. We've all got to acknowledge it. The fraud is very real. And by the way, when somebody commits fraud, and there are many that have done that, you investigate it, you charge, you prosecute, and you put the person in jail. As an individual, you put the person in jail as an individual.
You know what? I'm going to pause that one real quick because that last one just gets my goat real good, and I'm going to show you why in a second. But did you guys know all of a sudden the fraud is real? I'm not sure if Jacob Frey was around when the Rapid Response Choir from the DNC was deployed to protect the innocent Somalis who were victimized by a robber who only broke through the wall to steal their registration records of all their children enrolled and their employees and their pay stubs and didn't take anything else. I mean, my goodness, did you not hear the DNC Rapid Response Choir? I mean, like, man, they had a rapid response orchestra in Minnesota today. That is so bizarre because I was told it was a racist ploy and it was targeting and villainizing the Somalis. That's really weird, but now Jacob Frey says the fraud exists and it's bad. Sure, could we have done some more things about it? Did this guy not read his notes, or was he too busy trying to figure out how many point turns were Renee Good was taking when she literally ran over an ICE officer? Like, my God. But don't worry, the fraud's real now all of a sudden. Don't listen. These are not the droids you're looking for. My God. Okay, now I'm going to get real spicy because this next part, the 2A portion of my audience, the 2A environment, the entire cultural piece of it is very near and dear to my heart and always will be. And I will always defend it, and I will always go very, very hard when people do stuff like what you're about to see. Because Jacob Frey, about 8, 9, 10 months ago, there was a shooting at a Catholic church in Minnesota, or in Minneapolis, and he went out and he castigated every single gun owner as saying, enough is enough, blood's on your hands, you care about guns more than children. Oh, the whole nine. The whole nine. That's why I don't like this guy, because I have previous experience with him. Listen to what he just says right here. Just listen.
In jail as an individual, you do not hold an entire community, any community, accountable for the actions of individuals.
Pause for dramatic effect. You don't hold any community for the actions of an individual. Cue gun control, where every single crime committed by a psychopath, and in some cases, a transistor radio, more often than not recently, you cannot castigate that entire group. In fact, it's all gun owners' faults. You can't make this stuff up. All right, now we're going to go to the finale, the dessert, the coup de grace, as it were. I hope you guys are enjoying this content. If I'm landing the plane, let me see in the comments. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. This is the show to cut through the propaganda, and with your help, we can do just that. Okay, listen, y'all. This one is another one of those walk away from the computer ones, like what the actual hell did just happened, okay? We're about to play a little clip from Ilhan Omar, and she's big mad about something, and I'm going to show you what she's mad about, because it's not exactly what you'd think it would be. This is an extra layer of special. Watch this.
I'm so exhausted in trying to ask what any of this, information has led to you finding any criminals that you have indicted that explains why you are wasting so much of our taxpayer resources and also terrorizing our communities in the amount of federal law enforcement agents that you have in the streets of our city and our state. There needs to be some sort of justification.
Okay. I'm gonna be kind on this one. Asking for a friend, maybe someone in the back. Do you think maybe the justification for all the law enforcement would be the sanctuary city policies, and then also the wasting of tax dollars is a little bit hypocritical when the entire reason that they're there and the underneath the fraud scandal is they wasted and they fraudulently executed a scheme worth $19 billion on the taxpayers of Minnesota? You think maybe just slightly that might be a little bit stupid? Just a smidgen? Your big concern is the wasting of tax dollars and an investigation of $18 billion worth of fraud. And your big concern is, oh my God, we have so many federal law enforcement here because we created an environment of sanctuary cities where you make a target-rich environment of everyone who would be an illegal immigrant, which ICE is looking for, and you're shocked. It's like when you feed crackers on a pond, all the brim are going to come up. That's probably a good place to fish. I mean, like... That's the big takeaway, guys. That's the dessert on top. The Minneapolis research and investigation into the fraud is bad because it's wasting taxpayer money, of which was stolen from the taxpayers of Minnesota. It takes a lot for me to get speechless, and that was a really great example of one of those times. Listen, I'm going to wrap this up. We did a lot of work today. You did a lot of sharing, a lot of spreading, a lot of commenting, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I love each and every one of you just the right amount that makes you feel comfortable. Of course, we are on a quest to save this country together through dispelling propaganda every single day, 3, 4, 8 times a day, whatever it takes. And I appreciate you guys tuning in with the subscription, the notification bells, and the liking and the sharing. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. Stay safe, have a good night's sleep, and we will wake up and do it all again.